Hello, beauty.
Good night, dear listener. Once again, you have found yourself on the road to Auto Assembly for this, the penultimate episode. There's a long word for you, especially at this time of day. Yes, there is only one more to go after this, but we have this one to get through first, and this one's going to be artistic, I think. Very artistic. First up, we have from the main streets of that place down south, it's Sam Palmer.
Episode isn't that long a word.
No, I said and.
Hello.
Don't take away my dreams, Sam.
Well, you're taking them away yourself. I'm just pointing them out.
Don't take away my dreams. I'm a fragile little butterfly of a man.
My mind's unraveling already. We've already just started.
Well,
Hello, how is everyone?
Pretty good, I think. Pretty good. But you are not alone, Sam. Or are you? And this is actually the beginnings of a mental breakdown. Who knows? For we have from the dark and dirty streets of Wales, we've got...
Yes? What do you want? Do you want my name? It's Chris Carter. Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're off.
We are.
I'll just start a podcast like this, someone on your lawn.
Oh, that would have been good if you just answered with, I'm Chris Carter, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Hey, wait, what do you want? Not buying anything.
Just the sound that is obviously a rake being waved about.
Yeah.
Get away. So we're here once again to talk about the Auto Assembly's past and present and the one that's coming up in the not too distant future in, as we record this, 3 days. 3 days. Who's ready?
I'm kind of ready-ish.
You're doing better than me then.
Yeah.
I'm not in the slightest.
I haven't packed anything yet.
No.
Yeah, I haven't even washed it to pack.
No, same here. That's tomorrow's job.
Yeah. I've got clothes to iron, and I've bought my train ticket, so that's a good start.
Have you got a hotel room?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I do. So I'm quite lucky there. So that's quite good.
I think I've got a hotel room, but I won't find out until I get there.
Wow.
As far as I'm aware, I think my room was sorted a while ago, so I think I'm okay. So yes, touch wood, should all be good.
I really like the idea that Sam's playing some kind of hotel roulette.
Well, my room's coming from a third party, so I'm assuming he hasn't given it away elsewhere.
He'll be on the roof now before you know it.
That's it. It's the roof, the swimming pool roof is where I'm actually sleeping.
The idea of getting you a room from a third party.
Well, it's a long story, but basically I couldn't get a room because they all sold out. So a mutual friend of ours said he'd bought an extra one, so I'm basically getting off him.
Right.
So that would be the awesome Sid Beckett.
Ah, good man, good man. See, I was thinking more along the lines of you were about to tell me that Fans Project had given you a room. It doesn't quite look like a room in the Hilton. It looks vaguely like the room in the Hilton. It's got the same general aesthetic.
Yeah, it just avoids copyright infringement of the Hilton rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost as good as a Hilton room, but some places it's slightly better, but it's not quite right.
Yeah, I'm staying at the Not Hilton.
The Hot Tun room.
Yeah, the Halton.
The Halton.
You actually find yourself living. You've got a little hotel room. There's a little bit away from the rest of the hotel. It's actually in Houghton, which is a small town near Scotland.
It's incredibly much more expensive.
Yeah,
but exactly the same dimensions as the regular hotel room.
Yeah. It's slightly more awkward to find and awkward to get to.
Yeah.
But a lot of people prefer it to the real thing.
Exactly, yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back and letting you two go now. That's it. I don't have questions for you anymore. I'm just going to let you two talk.
It's a banter off.
Yeah, I'm just going to open up this bottle of whiskey and just sit back and listen. Carry on.
You do that. I'm gonna sip my coffee.
I'm going to be the girl in the room, so I've got the caffeine-free Pepsi.
Oh, that's quite girly.
By whiskey, I do, of course, mean this bottle of water that I have sitting next to me.
It starts with a W.
And it has letters in it, too.
Well, technically, water is in whiskey, so...
Yeah,
you know.
That's true. It's one of those vital ingredient things.
It's a good thing I didn't get this out the tap. There probably would be whiskey and water. Anyhow, so let's get moving. It's a very simple prospect that I have in front of you now to wave and dangle in front of your faces. Basically, I'm going to start off... Oh, yes. Like you wouldn't believe. I'm going to start off by saying, Sam.
Hello.
Give me your 3 favourite memories from AA's past.
Oh, Jesus. Let me think. In no particular order, I guess. Maybe my very first auto assembly, which was 2009. And I went to help out my friend Mario, who was doing the official comic cover, with the Grimlock cover.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of been on his stall and kind of... Cause I'd been around YouTube and seen... I'd not started YouTubing yet, but I'd seen the reviewers on YouTube and stuff. So I knew a lot of faces, but didn't know anybody, never spoke to anybody or anything. So people coming to talk to me was kind of cool because I was selling stuff to them. Then there was a point on the Sunday night where we had... because Nick drew the cover and Liam coloured it.
Yeah.
And then obviously Greg Berger was on it because it was Grimlock on the cover. And they came over to the booth to sign a whole bunch of them. So just getting to hang out with them was a little bit mind blowing for me, and it's the first time I ever met. Well, first time I met Nick and Liam, who are kind of quite good friends now. So that was pretty awesome. Like Nick gave me a free sketch, which is quite I would say quite unlike Nick, but no, Nick's awesome. So
yeah,
it's not like Nick at all. And obviously I got him and Liam's email addresses. So that was pretty cool to start with. What else? I've got to say last year as well. That was my very first guest appearance at a convention ever.
Yeah.
And it was I really wasn't expecting it either. Just kind of it came out of the blue from Dean Holdaway, Big DC Toy Chest, who messaged me saying he wanted to sponsor me to come as a guest because I'd done the Titan Transformers comic.
Yeah.
And just being a guest, again, it's kind of sitting at a table having people wanting to come and talk to me. It's just and how busy I was all weekend, the amount of sketches I did, it blew my mind a little bit as well. And I can't remember if I did it, but I really want to thank Simon Plume and the committee for kind of agreeing to have me there, because at that point I'd done nothing. I'd done the comic, but it wasn't out. So it's kind of more kind of speculative than anything else than having me as a guest. So that was
sure it'll be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I felt really lucky, and I think in my head I feel like every other guest was who the hell is this young upstart who's come in? Not he's haven't got any work out yet. So I felt a little bit kind of intimidated, but at the same time I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, this year, I haven't done a Transformers comic. I've only done that one, so I can understand why they didn't invite me back. So I've got nothing,
no
problems whatsoever with it. I'm still going. It's going to be awesome anyway. So that was awesome. What else? Actually, I'll say last year as well. Talking to Townsend Coleman and Paul Eiding and stuff, and then actually wanting to hear what I had to say. I never really. I spoke to guests before at conventions, but I never really properly had conversations with them.
Yeah.
It's more been like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, thanks for coming, sort of things. But actually having proper sit-down conversations and things. I mean, like, Paul Eiding voluntarily giving me his Skype was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Not that he's ever online, but anyway.
Well, that's why he gave you the Skype.
That's it. Yeah, it was a fake Skype. It's been given to everyone. I'm just another floozy in his eyes.
And here is my phone number. Well, look, you have reached Big Girls in Boots.
Oh God!
Wait a second.
This isn't kosher.
Oh God, I'm just starting to think of kosher porn. That would be horrible.
Oh, no. It's pork free.
Oh,
It doesn't work for porn.
That was a really unexpected kind of unintentional pun, but it worked quite well.
Pork free and
Pork free porn.
no seafood. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, backing away from this.
Kind of, I guess it's not more of a specific moment, but it's more of kind of an overall experience. Is obviously, kind of wanting to thank people like Chris as well. Anyone of pretty much everybody knows me from Assembly because I'm the guy with my portfolio trying to get everyone to look at it. And
you're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Chris. And kind of, Chris, people like Kat Nicholson, Nick Roach, like James Roberts, everybody who's looked at my portfolio and given me like different things to do. Liam Shalhoub, John Paul Beauvais as well has been really, really good with me. Just kind of giving me hints, tips, things to try, and kind of it's just helped me improve really quickly. And so it's just getting to have FaceTime. Obviously, at bigger conventions you can't do that, but Assembly's kind of, it feels more like a family. We're all there, so we can all chat. And I'm not explaining myself very well, but kind of, the networking aspect and kind of chatting and getting advice and things is just like, I don't think I'd be I say where I am today, like I'm some big superstar, but I don't think I'd be at the level I am at now without kind of Assembly.
Yeah.
So that's like an awesome thing for me.
Well, it's something that's come up a couple of times in the run of these shows, that the sort of social aspect and the fact that, unlike a lot of the bigger conventions, guests aren't held back from the general public. Because
good.
Because the general public isn't a ravening pack of wildebeest that are going to come and get them. Like in some other bigger conventions, not to name any of them, of course. So,
there's a really good sense of community, I think, at AA, and it seems to be growing every year. The community, it just feels like it's getting more cohesive. It's just a really nice feeling. So yeah.
And I think it all starts off with a very simple thing of people. A lot of the people who go to AA, they're not the type of people who want to sit in their own little groups and talk about Transformers all the time. The majority of the people who go are people who want to go to see friends and to make new friends and to just have themselves a good time. And I think that's a big difference to a lot of the other things. I think TFCon, for what I can understand, has a similar type of way of doing things.
Yeah.
But, Auto Assembly, there's a reason I come back year after year after year, and that's pretty much it. It's that sense of community and that sense of social experience.
Well, as I said in my YouTube video, I did like one of those pre-AA videos. It's basically like turning up in a hotel and spending the weekend with 700 of your closest friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very strange experience, and it's a very unreal experience for a lot of people, because once it's all over with, you do get that blues feeling. And it's weird. It's a very strange experience, and it's one I recommend that everyone has, even the misery at the end.
Because you can't have the misery without having the awesome before it.
Exactly. Yeah, these things go in swings and roundabouts. Mr. Carter.
Hello.
If we can drag you into the spotlight, could you give me 3 memories, please?
I'll give it a go. I don't know. It's hard to narrow down 3.
Of course it is. That's why.
There's just loads of good memories. One thing I do remember, the very first time I was a guest, it wasn't so much a memory at the convention itself, but I do remember the drive home and just feeling utterly overwhelmed, because it had been such a different experience. Because I've been to auto assemblies before as a punter, and then going as a guest, it was just it was just a completely different experience, but a really good one. But I just remember being really kind of happy with it, but just kind of like, whoa, what the hell was that? That was wow, that was really good, but whoa. So I always remember that particular feeling. In terms of actual memory, I do remember again the first time I was on the other side of the table. There was a little kid. He must have been about something like 6 or 7, something like that, and he was there with his dad, and he came up to my table, and I was really surprised because he recognised like the colouring, and he was really kind of excited. Like, and he said, you coloured. I think it was Spotlight Cyclonus. I think it might have been. But he said, he recognised my colouring, and he was really impressed, and because he liked to colour books as well. And then he told his dad that he wanted to colour stuff like me, and I was like, "That's amazing!"
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, because I just remember, when I was that age, expecting Transformers, and I'd look at all the artwork, and I remember Steve White's colouring and Gina Hart and all that kind of stuff. And to know now that this kid feels that way about my stuff, the same way I felt about like those kind of stuff back in the day, it's just really kind of cool how it all kind of flows on like that. And so that was a really kind of nice sort of moment for me there. Let's see, what other stuff? There's just loads of stuff. I remember a really good memory from last year's AA was when we very, very nearly killed Andy Turnbull. I'm not even joking. We almost ended his life. It's all John Paul Beauvais' fault. It really is, because
yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, there was a load of us sitting around the table. I think this was on the Saturday night. This would have been, and we were all sitting around, and we were all quite what's the word? Drunk, I suppose, is the best one for it. And we'd gone into this stupid game, and all it was, we were just taking random words, or random film titles, or television program titles, or song titles, or even just celebrities' names, and we were just replacing the letter M with the letter N, and vice versa. So like Nicolas Cage would become Nicolas Cage and that kind of stuff, and it wasn't it was pretty funny to start with, and then we just did it so much, and there was like 6 or 7 of us doing this, but we just did this so much it became not just funny but just ridiculously funny. And at one point, I can't even remember what was said, but something came up that just tickled everyone's funny bones, and we're all laughing so hard. Everyone had turned red, and Andy then just couldn't even breathe, and he just slid off the chair onto the floor. And I think there's actually pictures of it happening on Facebook. You can see them; they're there somewhere, and you can just see everyone clutching their sides, holding their faces. Andy's on the floor beating the carpet, and it's just that was just a ridiculously good memory. I just wish I could remember what was said. But that was a really good moment. I just remember people must have been looking over thinking, what the hell are they doing? It was just brilliant. That was really good. And memory numero 3.
What was you thinking? You've reminded me of one from a couple of years back now.
Yeah.
Which was, it's an old game now, but I still love it. It's taking a film title and replacing one word with the word fist.
The word fist?
Yep. When you get to Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Fist, and then it goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
And I remember absolutely dying because somebody happily shouted, "Gorillas in the fist!" That was
actually quite inspired.
Couldn't take it. Fist hard too. Fist harder. But anyway.
I'm just not going to go down that route. It's just going to be... It's just not going to end well.
But there you go. There's a game for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Want to spark your synapses on that one. Oh, God. Yeah, I think as far as a third memory goes, though, again, I think it was last year's one. I think it was just a load of us got together on the Saturday night. And it was like midnight going into Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was a load of us had done sketches over the day, and some of us had quite a list backed up. So we all just kind of managed to kind of secrete ourselves away into like a room somewhere behind. I think it was quite near the disco or quite behind the disco, and people just kept dropping in now and again and trying to do a catch-up sketch.
Yeah.
So at one point we had like myself, Liam, Nick was there, and Andy was kind of like chaperoning stuff, and we were just popping in now and again and just doing catch-up sketches, and then James Roberts popped in for a bit, and it was just kind of it was quite a nice little kind of arty, creative little well. We were all just sketching away like mad, trying to get caught up so we can go and have a dance kind of thing. So that was quite a nice little moment as well.
Yeah.
And so I always get that kind of a nice feeling of validation, because I'd hold up my sort of like crappy, hastily drawn sketch, which I think looks awful, and I'd show it to like Mick or to Livio, and they'd go, "Oh, that looks amazing," and I'd be like, "Really?" Like, no, you guys, you're the stuff. I'm just kind of just hanger on who just sketches very badly. So it was quite nice that they liked they liked my stuff in some degree. So that was quite cool.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
yes.
Yeah. Hanger on, he sketches badly pretty much describes my assembly last year.
We're colorists. That's what we do.
Yep.
Well, at least you two have a actual stuff. I remember a couple of years ago, I did a bit of a laugh. I was bored at work one night, and I drew a picture of Howard the Ducker's death's head. And then getting like inundated with people saying, "Can I have a copy of that?" Why?
It's just a scribble.
That's
one thing I do though, because I'm known primarily as a colorist. I always make it a point to try and offer coloured sketches, because I feel, well, if I'm a colorist, I should offer something colory-ish. So I always try and make it a point of doing that. Even though my pen work is a bit rubbish because I'm more of a digital colour kind of thing, but hey, I try. I'll whip up the old Crayolas. So yeah.
Right, if I ever get a picture of you, sir, I want it done in Crayola.
Oh, God. But it won't be this year.
No.
Crayons, not even pens.
Yeah, I want it in crayons. You'd have one eye closed, and you'd have your tongue hanging out the side of your mouth. Pardon me?
You need to obviously go over the lines as well at some point.
Yeah, and I'll do it with my left hand for that full-on 6-year-old look kind of thing. Yeah.
I demand this. In fact, we're not going to continue with this until I actually get this. You promising me this?
Get the right.
No, we're not having any more until I get a promise.
I'll try to do a Crayola-based sketch at some point.
Hey, now I actually have a couple of your comics I could come and throw at you and say, "Drew, colour this all in for me."
Do it all in a big old way.
I was going to say redraw them, but that's not what I meant at all. I was meant to say these are black and white. Colour them.
It's a lot more work.
Imagine it would be, yes.
Very hard to adjust line weight with a crayon. Although I'd love to see a Nick sketch in crayon. That'd be quite cool.
Need like a series of crayons all sharpened to a different degree. You have to change crayon every time you want to change line weight.
They never last. They just disappear.
Oh, the idea of just having like a really big bottle of some kind of alcohol and just swinging it in front of Nick's face going, "If you want it, you have to draw me a sketching crayon." I've even brought my first crayon set.
You need one of those crayon pens that's like the little tiny crayons, and you kind of take the one off the top and put it underneath, and it changes the colour all through.
Oh, man.
You need one of those.
Yes, but only if it's got Minnie Mouse printed on the side.
Oh, when I went, changing the subject slightly, I went to Disneyland a few years ago with my then fiance, and when we were waiting in the lobby at St Pancras for the Eurostar to arrive, I went up and stole two of the children's packs. And they had them in there, like Disney branded, and I picked it up and was like, "This is some kind of pencil." So now, like, it's like the running joke every time I see one. It's now some kind of pencil. That's the actual name of the instrument.
But do you say it like Doc Brown?
Some kind of pencil.
There you go. Marty, you've got to do something about your pencils.
Oh, did you see
Good
that
God.
Star Wars? Did you see that Back to the Future Lego?
Oh yes.
It's like 50 quid for it's tiny, and I was going to get it, but then I thought 50 quid for.
Well, Legos are automatically expensive, and it's a limited run. So
that goes through expensive and out the other side. So I'm not sure yet. So I might pick it up at some point, but I want it, but
There's
Yeah,
a,
I kind of want it.
there's a Master
Yeah.
Builder set coming out soon, and it's all steampunk.
Oh,
And I'm just sitting there going, shit.
that.
Would
well.
rather that didn't exist. Oh, balls.
They're taunting you.
So, we'll start with you then, Chris.
Hello.
What are you looking forward to this year?
Well, first order of business is just catching up with everybody again. That's always really good. So just to kind of meet people in person and, not online or on Skype, but to actually have a chat and have a drink together, all that kind of good stuff. Really, really good. So yeah, the social aspect of it. But again, it's really bizarre how that's grown over the years, because when I think I went to 2006 Auto Assembly or 2007. I think I came as a guest in on 2008, but back then the social side of it didn't seem to be quite so people didn't seem to be quite so pally.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of Facebook and Twitter, where you can stay in touch easily after the convention, that it's all kind of grown. And so I think I'm just really looking forward to kind of catching up with everyone again. That's going to be good.
Well, in all honesty, what I think happened, and it happened about 2009, is two things went hand in hand. You had Auto Assembly reaching sort of the next level of convention. And at the same time,
there's more people, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, very much so. And was 2009 the first year it was more than one day? Or was it the second year?
I think it might have been the second year.
But at the same time, you had the Moonbase 2 taking place, which was a focal point for the community of Transformers, especially in the UK. So those two things going hand in hand, I think, helped sort of birth the social aspect that we now enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I said all that, and then I thought I was about to sneeze. Oh dear me.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely one of the things I'm looking forward to. Also looking forward just to sketching, really. Like you say, most of the time I don't tend to do a great deal of sketching, so anytime a convention comes up, it's always a good excuse for me to kind of work the old sketching muscles a bit, so that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the bone-chilling terror of trying to think of something vaguely witty and cool and happening to say when you introduce yourself to everyone. So that's quite cool. So yeah,
my last year was pretty hilarious. I ran through the crowd high-fiving everyone, ran back through the crowd high-fiving everyone. I did like 3 laps of the crowd, then got up on stage and pointed at my name on the screen. And it's like, it's my name up there. That was pretty much what I did. I'm Sam Palmer, as you can see, because my name is behind me in massive letters.
That must have been a very surreal thing.
It is. I can never remember what I said. It's quite bad.
When I got off stage, somebody turned to me and was like, "Oh, did you like the music they gave you?" I didn't even hear what the music was. And it was CM Punk's entrance music, which was pretty damn awesome. Cool. But I didn't even hear it.
All you could hear was the blood rushing in your ears, and that was about it.
Yeah, as I sprinted from the back room we were in up to the stage.
I give you credit there, man. I don't think I could have sprinted.
I definitely
in general.
I think what you got out of me was a bit of a wheeze, and that would have been about it. I'm gonna lie down on the stage now. Yeah, you've kind of both answered there. It was quite strange.
Sorry.
It's all right, but we'll go to Sam and say, Sam, give me something different that you're looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to kind of, again, the kind of social side of it. I know since last Auto Assembly, I've not really spoken to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I've had kind of a lot of, say, personal things I'm not going to bring up going on. It's kind of, I've not really been around it a lot. So in the Transformers community especially, so it's going to be good to kind of catch up with people and stuff like that. But this year I want to make a concerted effort to actually sit and have conversations with people, because usually I say, oh yeah, we'll have a chat, and I kind of sit there and everyone chats around me and I sit there just sort of in the bubble but not actually contributing. So I kind of want to make more of an effort to actually sit and chat. I mean, last year I did it a bit, but like I sat with Levio for quite a bit, but I think that was more the fact that he didn't want to leave as opposed to me actually like being more engaging. But it's kind of, I want a bit more of kind of social, getting more in touch with. Again, so trying to think of the words now. Yeah, kind of catching up with people again, and kind of. So I feel like I've been a bit of a rubbish friend because I've not really been talking to anybody. But yeah, just kind of catching up with people. Buying toys isn't really that high on my list this year because there's not a great deal I'm actually after. But again, just kind of being in the room with all the toys and looking and all that sort of stuff. I'm looking forward to kind of making a few new friends as well. Because obviously since I put that YouTube video out, I've had a lot of people that I haven't spoken to before, like new people kind of subscribe to me and kind of leave messages. So kind of meeting some new people and stuff would be kind of cool as well.
Yeah.
Again, catching up with guests, showing off my current portfolio and stuff I'm going to be doing. I'm all digital now, so I bought an iPad Mini, so it's a digital portfolio.
Wow.
So I'm not lugging around the big. I'm sorry, but the A3 portfolio is in retirement now, so I'm not carrying that around with me anymore.
I feel kind of disappointed.
Well,
Living in the future now.
I'm definitely like Captain Picard now with my little pad.
But with more hair.
Yeah, I've got a bit more hair, and I've got a sweet beard as well. He only wishes he had a beard. Yes, it's kind of again, it's like catching up with people, making new friends, sort of reconnecting with old friends, talking to more people. I know me and Chris need to have a conversation at some point. Again, that's something I'm not going to bring up on here.
that sounds threatening.
Yeah, it is. So it's
So if you
you know what
the
it's
first
about.
half of the first day,
conversation.
you'll know why.
Yes, and if suddenly I'm wearing a pair of glasses sitting at his table, try to replace him.
I was more thinking you just walking up in a suit going, "So Chris, tell us about this money that you owe me then."
Oh God! Don't even talk to me about owing money.
Which kneecap do you like the most?
Oh, that's the joys of freelancing right there. That is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the worst freelancer ever because I forget to invoice people. The amount of money I'm owed from work, I just have forgotten to invoice people for.
Yeah, but that's your own fault.
Yeah, I know.
I'm over people who don't bother to read the invoices I send them. It's quite demoralising.
I need to invoice FunPub at some point, and I just keep forgetting to do it.
Do it now.
Well, what you want to do is you want to invoice them
Finish
and
them
put
off,
all
man.
of their credit card details on. Oh, sorry. We're meant to be past that now, aren't we?
Yeah. Giving FunPub my credit card information. But no, they've been really good to me, so I should probably, at least accept some form of payment from them. If they do keep emailing me, say, yeah, where's your invoice? I'm sorry, Pete, I'll get it to you, I promise.
I swear.
I've just got this horrible feeling now that Pete Sinclair and Savage are going to be sitting listening to this going, yes, we do owe that man money. But unfortunately, he's now been on the old oil house, and the stuff they've said about me.
No, I've got nothing for respect for them. I know people kind of do say things that they've, about their business practices or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're putting on a show like BotCon, which is huge.
Yeah.
So you've got to give them a bit of respect for that.
Well, it's less giving them jip for things they've done and more the idea that I like of Brian Savage losing the plot and just running out in a pair of tassels and like skin-tight, flesh-coloured shorts, just screaming
Dressed as
at
the
people.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Will you see something? BotCon. You've got to grab the airplane by the hands. BotCon.
And he's like, Pete Sinclair, put that plane into a nosedive. Pete Sinclair.
Feel sorry for the plane pilots who've already made the sacrifice. Pete Sinclair.
I think the makeup would be the most disturbing part. Just runs on stage to the Ultimate Warrior's music, just like pumping his hands. That was my favourite part of the. I had a WrestleMania challenge on the NES. My favourite part was if you had tag team matches, whenever you tagged someone in, it played their entrance music.
Oh man,
It's like the coolest thing. Like him and Rick Rude were my favourites.
man, I don't remember the Ultimate Warrior's music in NES. I need to find that. I really want to hear the Ultimate Warrior in a 16-bit game, just so you can hear that brilliant digitized speech. That'd be fantastic. Go get you, Hulk Hogan.
That's more megabytes than a standard NES cartridge could take just for that speech alone.
I think just having the Ultimate Warrior in a game is more megabytes than the NES.
That's pretty true. I couldn't handle it. Changing the subject completely, I found an interesting fact out the other day, which is the start of the Sonic the Hedgehog games where it says Sega.
Yep.
Sega. That takes up more space on the cartridge than the entire game.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's not by much. It's like 51% is for that Sega sound, 49% is for the actual games.
That's ludicrous. I love it.
It is absolutely mental. I'm trying to think, there was one of them, SNES game, and I'm trying to think what it was. Was it Chrono Trigger? Could have been Chrono Trigger. I'm probably wrong here, but we'll say it's Chrono Trigger. The music, because of the sheer amount, even though it was just the normal type of SNES music, but just because there was the sheer amount of it, it took up more space than the actual game did. Which is insanity.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing of the space program in the 60s. There's more computing power in a regular calculator now than it took to get men to the moon, which I think is brilliant.
Well, did you know that NASA don't upgrade their computers?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the computers on the shuttles and whatnot, before the shuttle program was completely abolished, they were all like from the late 80s.
That's IBM-tastic.
It's like Windows 3.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. It was all DOS-based.
It's DOS, yeah.
Oh, God.
All C commands.
Very simple reason for that. Because it's incredibly simple programming.
Yeah, less liable to break down kind of thing.
Exactly,
To
yeah.
corrupt and stuff.
So all astronauts have to have like a degree in basic before they can actually...
Basic. I love it.
On a completely different note, I know that we're well
Space
off topic
shuttle
now, but we're now into my favourite ballpark, which is random useless bits of information. So,
Trivia.
But here's a great one for you. There is a guy, there's a group of guys who have lots and lots of money and really need to have more sense. They are trying to set up a mission to Mars, right?
Right.
But they're trying to set it up without using NASA or anybody like that. Because they want to do it as a reality TV show.
I think I've read about this. They're going to send people up there and they're just never going to come back. So they're going to just die in space, essentially, aren't they?
Yep.
Or they're going to die on Mars, at least.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Now, what I find three things really funny about this. One, every astronaut has been a incredibly well-trained, top of their field in everything type of guy. You know, a 1 in a million type person.
Yeah.
Right? These guys are asking people to put up their videos on YouTube to see who wants to go.
I can't see this failing at all.
You see, I want this to happen. I think this would be brilliant just to watch on some like little reality TV show somebody's expression as they realise just what a mistake they've made.
Yeah.
They're not going off to a new planet to colonise it. They're not going off to find the mysteries of the universe. They're being hurtled into space to die.
Yeah.
For my amusement.
Well, it's more likely that the rocket is just going to explode on takeoff.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
So I can't wait.
Yeah, 6 months down the line. Now, Jim, you're going to die there. Wait, what? It's going to be not good.
Well, you think about reality TV show and how they sort of put things in to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You just imagine it's like, so what do we need to do to spice this up? Engine number 3 can fail this week.
Yeah, I'll give him a challenge.
Just sounds like a storyline from Drawn Together.
It does just... So, what can we do this week? Yeah, is the box of Ebola still in there? Yep. Open the box!
That'll do.
They need to hide Donald Trump somewhere on the ship for him to appear at some point and set him like a challenge. You're fired! Out into the vacuum of space.
Bring in a new housemate.
Yeah.
His name is Zardos. He eats people.
He's a xenomorph.
He's just a collection of bacteria held together through sheer will.
And with no drawbacks.
Where were we anyway?
Assembly. I'm looking forward to lots of things at this year's assembly.
Including the conversation.
Yeah,
including the conversation, because it will basically go along these lines. I remember last year when there was a drop-in podcast in the bar, I think on the Friday night.
Yes.
and I turned up and decided to ruin it by saying brand names that you had to edit out.
Yes.
Well played.
Because you're a bastard.
Yep. I can say the company now because they've gone bankrupt, so it's fine. I won't.
I'm so done with that now. If anybody says it, they can get themselves into trouble.
Game Station.
I now just put a disclaimer on the front.
Caution, contains brand names.
Caution, the people who speak here are idiots. Don't listen to a single word they say.
That's probably
That's when we were talking. I just kept name dropping the brand, and then everything went quiet. I counted down from 3, and everyone around the table shouted it at the same time.
You're not my friend anymore. I had forgotten about that. I don't like you anymore.
Too much editing involved.
Don't like
That
you.
was good.
No, that was actually really quite funny.
Yeah.
It
But,
just got sillier and sillier and sillier.
Yeah, it definitely did. But I kind of want to make more of an effort to kind of talk to guests and stuff as well this year. I mean, obviously, again, like guys like Chris, Nick, and Liam, they're all my kind of friends anyway. We kind of chat anyway, but kind of people I haven't met before. Like, I really want to talk to Andrew Griffith.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I really,
I'm looking forward
I
to
want to
him.
talk to Alex as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've asked Alex and Andrew to look at my portfolio, and they've both said they would. But Alex apparently is like brutally honest to the point of reducing people to tears. So I'm a little bit nervous about that one. Not gonna lie. But Andrew apparently, I did a podcast, I think before AA last year. I think it was one of the it was one of the Minbase 2 classic reviews, the Underbase classic. And apparently I said some nice things about Andrew Griffith in it, and apparently he spoke to Adam, to Ad 8M, and apparently really wanted to meet me because of the way I spoke about him and how I was a big fan. So that's kind
And
of
give you the check.
yeah. Just look me up and down and make sure I'm not a weirdo. He's going to turn up at his house or something.
He was actually hiding behind the bar the entire time, just watching you for a couple of hours.
Just peering over every now and then. I look over and then see his head quick pop me down behind the bar.
Every now and then a World War II periscope just pops up.
Someone walks past with a tape recorder, it's recording what I'm saying, and then runs back to him to play it.
Said another nice thing.
This giant boom mic just appears over the top. What's this? Get away.
We've just single-handedly turned Andrew Griffith into some sort of paranoid.
It's like some
Man only likes nice things said about him.
it's like Howard Hughes style. I did wonder what all those milk bottles were doing outside of his room last year.
It all makes sense now.
Oh,
And why he
you're
flies his own
building-
plane in every year.
Quick, hop in. We'll take the spruce moose. No, that's only a bottle. I said hop in. Yes. Anyway, let's not just besmirch the reputation of Andrew Griffith because he's a very nice guy and he's got he's a very awesome artist, and I can't wait to meet him.
Very much.
So yes.
Cool. I'm just trying to regain my thoughts now. After
Yeah.
that went bizarre quite quickly.
If anyone's ever listened to Back to the 80s, where I'm now a co-host, I can quite quickly derail a conversation into madness.
It's when you don't come into one of my shows and leave me thinking about what the hell I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Mentally stranded, I think is the term.
That's not a good thing. Hell, the last time that Chris here was on one of my shows, we spent about 20 minutes talking about hats.
Yeah, I still haven't found my signature hat.
Yeah, we need to find you one, man.
I know.
So,
I don't know what it's going to be. A trilby, maybe. I don't know. But we'll.
no, I think if memory serves me right, you wanted a trilby.
Yeah, that seems to scream out to me, but I still haven't found that perfect trilby.
You need a bowler hat.
I could do bowler. Bowler's good.
You have to wear it on kind of the crown of your head rather than like a proper hat, like a fashionable crown.
Yeah.
A crown.
Yeah, I
bowler.
mean, I think no matter what hat I get, it'll be jauntily angled. So that's going to happen at some point.
It needs to be a gentleman's bowler, but have a big purple feather in it.
Oh, an extravagant feather.
Yes. But it's moved towards the back slightly. It's like, serious, serious, serious. And then you turn it a little bit and doing.
It's jaunty, people.
And now it's
Jaunty.
party time.
It's the mullet of hats.
Yeah,
Business up front and party in the back.
For some reason now, Chris, I really want to see you dressed up as the Mask. I don't, not the green face, just the yellow suit and hat.
I would well, that's a weird thing. I do the loose cannon comic,
Yes.
and there's a character in that called Vic.
Yes.
And Vic wears the great big yellow radiation suit.
Mhm.
I always hoped that one day, if the comic ever got big enough, but I could cosplay as Vic. So I'd have to kind of like get myself all balled up and everything. But I'd have to get like a great big long yellow trench coat type thing. And I'm sure I could pull off the yellow look. I'm pretty sure I could do yellow. Yellow's good.
Well, you've only got a couple of days, man. Come on. Plenty of time.
Do you know what? It's just going to sound stupidly insane. Or not, I'm not sure. But I've always wanted to be the first guest to do a cosplay at the con. So I've always wanted to enter the cosplay competition at AA. I've just never had the time to get a decent costume done up. But yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I just never had the time. And again, same goes for this year. This year I wanted to do a properly good Cup costume, but I just never got around to doing it. So, bugger, I think is the best way to describe it.
About 3 years ago, I started work on a steampunk lockdown cosplay.
Oh, cool.
I have an arm, I have a head, and I have a left leg. That's taken me 3 years.
It's surprisingly time-consuming. It really is. So it's like,
yes, unfortunately, I have to live in this adult world with being all grown-up stuff.
Oh, real life sucks, man.
Don't want it. Do not want. Clown not like. Clown
It just
not.
gets in the way,
Yeah, I want to be 18 again. Well, maybe not 18. 20.
Yeah.
20 was a good age.
No, I'm going to say 18.
There's a annoyingly. So I work in one of the UK's leading media sales stores.
Where would that
at the moment, I'm not saying the brand because you might have a fit and have to edit it out.
No, I'm not editing anything. Anything that you say at this point will get only you into trouble.
Well, I'm not saying it.
So where would that be?
At the moment,
Where would it be? Where'd it be, Sam? Where'd it be, Sam? Where'd it be?
Anyway, at the moment, because the new Now CDs just come out. And obviously it's all kind of the fashionable songs. And there's a song on there by Taylor Swift where she sings about wishing she could be 22.
Oh,
and I'm like, what? So, yeah. So it's one of those songs that you will wake up singing and you will hate yourself forever for singing it. But it just reminds me, like, that feeling when you want to be 22 again. It's like, out of all the ages you could pick, you pick 22.
How old is Taylor Swift then? Like 23?
Probably. She's not that old.
She's pining for last year.
That's it. Well, I think one of the lines in the song is something like, dress up like hipsters and make fun of our accents.
It is last year.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, Taylor, what are you like?
That's not how nostalgia works. I think you've got this wrong somewhere.
Yeah, nostalgia has to go back a bit further.
What are you doing? I'm buying toys that came out last year.
Nostalgia. So long ago.
It was a good year.
Good year for plastic, man. Yeah.
Look at all these Ben 10s.
So like half the toys you could buy last year are still in shops, so it's not even like it's that big a deal.
True enough.
Anyway,
talking about music that's currently current.
Currently current?
Currently current.
I have a real problem with current music, particularly one song. Right, you know that Somebody That I Used to Know?
Oh, I hate that song.
I'm a big fan of it, actually.
Oh, I don't like it.
Right, really
really
quite enjoyed. However, I have a problem. I have no idea what the guy's called.
Oh.
Gautier.
Right, thank you. Now I'll forget that instantly, because the thing I keep calling him is Goatsy.
Keep calling him Goiter, but that's a disease. So,
Goiter.
Yeah.
Hello, Herr Goiter.
Gautier. But at least it's now recorded for posterity on this podcast, so you can just fast forward to this bit if you ever forget his name.
No.
Unless he edits it out.
Which I might just edit that out.
Is he a brand name? Does he count?
I might edit it out and just say Game Station instead.
Yeah. Can I say Barclaycard?
You could. I might edit it out just for comedy value.
Okay. Can I say Barclaycard are a shower of bastards?
Hey,
No?
It's only you that can get yourself into trouble with that one.
That's true.
And
I stand by my assessment.
And
so
I
it's all
agree
cool.
wholeheartedly.
Well, there you go.
Clanad's greatest hits.
Yeah. I'll buy that album. Wait.
Oh,
That actually
Fernando's sake. Oh, McDonald's. Right,
Where were we?
It's all good. It's all good.
We were talking about cosplay, weren't we?
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Yes.
remember.
Yeah. So I've never really had the kind of compulsion to cosplay for some reason. It's just not a side of me that I think. No, people have this kind of thing where they want to do it, and it's just not a part that I want to be involved with.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do want a full replica, show accurate green Power Ranger costume. And I don't know why, because I'll never wear it anywhere. Not like I'm going to go to conventions and wear it. I just want one.
I
don't know why.
disagree. I don't think you'd look good in the show accurate green one. I think you'd look good in the movie accurate white one.
Oh, with all the rubber panels and
Yeah, man.
the obvious places they've fixed it with duct tape.
Yeah, I can just imagine you squeaking down the hall wearing that thing. Where is the White Ranger?
If you look at all the there's like the publicity photos for them when they're in the costumes and their poses and stuff, most of the crotches are torn out in the outfits because they all just tore because of the rubber.
Yeah.
And there's parts of the film where you can see there's actual duct tape they've had to paint white to cover the holes up.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But getting back on topic slightly, it's kind of, again, like using Power Rangers as kind of an example. At least you can go out and you can buy like a full replica costume if you want. I mean, it'll cost you thousands, but you can't do that with Transformers. So that's the kind of cool thing I like, seeing the kind of ingenuity of people making stuff, especially like Tori and her Desires last year was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys do amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
It's actually one of
I
the...
love the scraplet guy last year. I thought that was
Oh
inspired.
yeah.
Mhm.
He
Really
basically
cool.
got raped at the end of that.
Bless him.
He just stood there in a black leotard because everyone stole his scraplets.
Please tell me he was just something like, I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Have you seen any of Tori's pictures on Facebook of what she's doing this year?
I haven't
Yes,
actually, no.
Skids and Run, isn't it?
Skids and Rung.
Mm.
Looks amazing.
There's a picture of her wearing like the Skids like a chest piece, and it looks amazing.
Oh, wow.
It looks
That
so
should
good.
that should be good to see in action. I think that's gonna be
Yeah,
really
because she's
good.
put lights and stuff in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
One of these days I'm going to learn how to make a hand puppet. I really want one year just to walk around AA with a little scrounge hand puppet.
I'd go Beast Wars Megatron. See, have the huge Tyrannosaurus Rex head on your arm. You know?
Well, I think that
Looks like John does it, doesn't he? John 3.0
Yeah,
with his
Ravage.
Ravage the Insult comic bot.
hmm Actually, I quite like the idea of having a little Megatron. You will serve me. Yes. Yes. Oh man, what if it was a little Death's head? You wouldn't have to have a
Simon
moving
would
mouth.
love that.
How would you have him talk though? Because I auditioned the year before last for the script reading as Death's Head. And I basically just did a really bad impression of Arnie,
Mm.
and obviously wasn't picked. I just thought it'd be really funny. Like, I'm Death's Head, yeah.
Nah, I'd have to go. I think Kenneth Williams would be the way forward for that.
Kenneth Williams as Death's Head.
I
Yeah.
really like the Arnold Schwarzenegger idea, actually. That's
It has,
tickled
to be,
me.
it has to be a really offensively bad,
Oh, yeah.
like if someone was doing an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger on Family Guy, that kind of level of awful. That's what it is.
I'm just thinking back to that issue of Iron Man. Now, where the recent one where you just got Iron Man running away from him. It's like, hey, as nature intended, remember? Well, I am using it as nature intended. No rocket launches, you see.
Yes.
Yes. I
I
firmly believe that Death's
Yow.
Head sounds like Adam White.
Doing an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Challenge accepted.
Adam, if you're listening to this, we want to hear your Death's Head impression with you doing a really terrible impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, I'm serious. Every time I read Death's Head now, I don't know where it came from. I just hear Adam White's voice. It's really odd.
Surely Simon Furman should do the voice of Death's Head.
What you'd have thought.
Yeah, logically speaking, created it. No, he created the guy. Come on.
Just a very softly spoken Death's Head, I think, is
Yeah.
what we need.
It'd be amazing. Just add an extra air of menace to him.
I think that's what it is. It's Adam White's got a very nice, low, calming voice. I think that'd be brilliant when things are on fire.
Yeah.
No, Death's Head is Bane, basically.
Oh,
Fruit.
Alex, yes.
We've cracked the code.
There we go.
Death's
And
Head is
Hollywood
officially
comes
Bane.
knocking. Yeah.
We go knocking at Hollywood. We've got this idea. Adventures are like
amazing.
Bane.
Trust us.
Tom Hardy should do the voice of Death's Head and the actions of Death's Head. That'd be Ray Park would be Death's Head with his little 5'3" Death's Head.
Well, that's fine because you've got everybody else playing Transformers and they're all in cosplay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Quickly, too. This is possibly the most off-topic one we've done so far. Right, Sam.
It's because I'm on it. I apologise. Hello.
Curse you, Palmer. Palmer House. That sounds like something completely different. Where are you off to? I've got £50 and I'm off to Palmer House.
I do worry when you kind of, people like, if your surname is Baker, then, at some point in your history you were a baker.
Mm-hmm.
My surname is Palmer. So what were my family? Oh,
Gypsies, apparently.
Gypsies or hookers.
I'm safe.
The word is ladies of negotiable affection.
Yes.
The oldest profession.
Yes. The world's old. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I'm just going to sit here just rolling a dice now. Just let you continue. That was a 3. 1. A picture of an armadillo for some odd reason. Right, so, Sam, advice that you would give to somebody going to AA for the first time this year?
Advice I would give to somebody is beware of...
The bum.
No. Beware of me, because I'm a bit crazy. Now, don't be scared to kind of try and get stuck in, because a lot of people kind of are quite shy, and I was quite shy in my first thought assembly. But again, I even knew people from seeing them online or whatever. And there's a lot more kind of communication with newer people nowadays on YouTube and stuff. So kind of don't be afraid to kind of introduce yourself and say hi. So literally, even it's just kind of, like tap on the shoulder, hi, how you doing? I'll catch up with you in a bit if you're busy, sort of thing. Just, it's like we're all friendly. We're all, as you can probably tell from this series of podcasts, we're all a bit mental. so in the nicest possible way.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. It's just because I woke up from a nap. That's all. It's the sugar in the decaf Pepsi. Just don't be afraid. Again, it's not kind of like the bigger cons, like your bot cons, or even stuff like your MCM expos or anything like that, where it's not kind of intense. It's not kind of in your face and overwhelming. It's kind of more laid back. So don't be afraid to kind of try and get stuck in. Obviously, don't be really obnoxious because people aren't going to want to talk to you, but kind of be respectful, but kind of be willing to want to kind of talk to people and kind of again get stuck in is the phrase I keep using, but I guess that kind of fits.
I do think it is worth saying though, if somebody says I'll catch up with you later on, chances are that you're not being snubbed in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
There is a lot of us who, as much as it is a bit of a break and a bit of a holiday, there are a lot of us who end up doing quite a lot during this time. I'm talking both guests and attendees.
Very easy to get busy.
Yeah. I've got lots planned for this year, and I'm going to be really busy. But thankfully, I won't get as bothered as some people, I think. People just look at me and wonder why someone's let a troll in. I'm here for the goats. But I mean, a lot of guys are going to be running around. I mean, you've got guys like, as I mentioned before, actually, Mr. White. He's going to be absolutely killing himself. Even though he said himself that he's not going to be part of the committee as such this year. It's just the guy he is. He's going to be running around doing what he can for people because that's who he is.
Because he's the man.
Yeah.
He's Mr. White.
He's a good man. He's a very good man.
He certainly is.
He will be running around doing all sorts for everybody. So, if somebody says, I'll catch up with you later on, then take it at face value.
Yeah.
Because that's what it will be.
So if somebody's talking to somebody else and you're not being ignored, if you're not being included in the conversation, it's because you're standing near them. Mm-hmm. So kind of, I'm trying to think of a nice way. Cause obviously, all this stuff came up recently. I'm not going to go into it again, but
that's why you're not
you're not being snubbed. You're not being blanked or avoided. It's just everyone. Again, it's kind of a lot of us have known each other for years. We haven't seen each other since the last convention, so it's going to be a lot of kind of catching up with people you know, as well as trying to make new friends as well. So there's a lot going on. And again, the guests and the committee and stuff will be rushed off their feet, busy. Obviously, I know from experience how it can get. So just kind of be patient, but kind of be willing to want to try and meet new people, and don't be put off if somebody's like, oh, sorry, I'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's not talking to you because they're talking to someone else.
I think, to draw a line to this one, I will say, if you're not making the effort to talk to people, then I do think you can't really blame anybody for no one talking to you.
Yeah, you get out what you put in.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, that can be quite daunting as well. I mean, I know if you don't feel particularly confident, it can be a bit of an ask sometimes to kind of initiate a conversation or kind of say hi to someone. But you're only there for 2 days. You know, you have to kind of seize the moment. There's no point going home and regretting not trying to talk to somebody or not trying to kick up a conversation or ask a question or something like that. So just take the plunge and say hi. You know, that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, so I am, again, going back to previous Auto Assembly years, I am notoriously bad for asking for autographs. Like, I'll meet like all the guests and talk to everybody, but then I'll completely forget to get anything signed or get any photos with anyone. And I'll come after the convention and was looking at everyone's photos and stuff, and I was like, oh, I could have got something signed, or I could have got a photo with him, or...
Yeah,
so I'm notoriously
like
bad. But I don't like being the kind of... I think I'm going to be that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, sign my things, take a photo with me. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the kind of, I want to be the guy who makes the friend rather than the guy who is the fanboy.
Yeah.
Again, not that there's anything wrong with being a fanboy, but it's kind of that's not where I want to be.
No, I'm much more interested in talking to somebody than I am having a photo with them.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Besides, I don't like having a photo taken. I crack lenses and people then bill me.
And there's also a part of me as well. I mean, I have done it in previous years, but it's kind of like, again, meeting somebody like Livio, or again, this is going to be Alex and Andrew, and kind of sitting down with them with my portfolio, going through my work, being really, really professional, and then turning around and saying, "Hi, could you sign this for me?" It's a little bit, to me, it feels a bit.
Yeah, I know you're
professional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. So that's why I usually make a habit of making, like, if I'm going to get any comics or anything signed, I'll do it on a completely separate day to that. Or half the time I was kind of like, I forget to get anything signed, or think, oh, it's going to be a bit weird now, sort of thing. Especially, again, going back to people like Nick and other people that I know that are kind of friends now. I'm just kind of, oh, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? Sign this for me. It's a little bit odd.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So I've talked to Nick a fair few times now, and it would just be the weirdest thing in the world saying, "Hey, Nick, sign this for me."
Yeah.
As he just stares at me and once again repeats the sentence, "Thank you for having me in your shitty little podcast." To this day, best thing that's ever been said to me.
Well, the last time I saw Nick was at, I think it's London Super Comic Con in February. And because him and Liam shared a table. And I went and saw Liam, and Nick was getting breakfast, he wasn't there. So Liam's like, "Oh, come on and sit down." So I sat on Nick's seat. And then Nick came along and sort of saw me, and I was like, "Yeah, I've replaced you now, Nick. I'm going to do all your sketches." And he just sort of gave me this weird look, as he does.
I have just had the greatest thought in the world, and it's not one that's occurred to me before.
What's that?
We're going to have Nick and Alex at the same place, in the same
Fighting
room.
there.
Batten down the hatches, people. Get the SAS on standby.
Oh man, we're going to need life rafts for the amount for, shall we say, bodily fluids that may be expelled.
I was more thinking about drowning in the swear, as we probably will.
Oh, there is that. I was thinking more of the contained awesome in that room.
Have I told
Trousers will be shattered everywhere.
I have told you my
Yes.
plan, haven't I?
No.
Oh, how to make Fangirl Pong, which will be the best game in the world. What we do is we get all the fangirls and round them up in the middle of the room. On one hand, we've got Nick Roche at the left hand of the room, and on the other hand, we've got oh god, I've just forgotten his name. Voice of Starscream.
Oh,
Bloom. Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
So we've got Steve Bloom one side of the room, Nick Roche on the other, and they're both covered in curtains. What we do is we open up one curtain, let them see, then close it and open up the other one. We stand above them, and we just watch as this game of Pong takes place. As the fangirls run back and forward and back. It'd be great.
And they have to keep producing different props related to their work to kind of get them over to the other side. So they'll see Nick, like, Nick Roach, and run over, then they'll be like, Alex Milne, and then like Nick will pull up a copy of Wreckers, or let's have the Wreckers, and then like, Alex will pull up like a More Than Meets the Eye sheet, like, oh, well, it's the eye, and then Steve Bloom will appear, and like Steve Bloom, and then it'll just carry on. It'll be like Breakout.
Yes.
Just get loads of guests all lined up at the back, and a series of fangirls that go one at a time, and it's like Breakout.
I like it. It'd be almost like Space Invaders.
Yeah. They can all slowly walk towards them.
Chris.
Hello.
Advice that you would give to somebody going for the first time, because I've just realised how long this show's actually going on
Oh
for.
God, I apologise.
Longest one of... I've had these done in mostly about half an hour so far.
Not today.
Nope.
Let's see. Definitely echo what Sam said. So like, don't be afraid to talk to people and enjoy yourself, basically. I don't really have much more in the way of advice other than that. I guess it's a bit late now, seeing as the show's in a couple of days' time, but save like crazy and make sure you've got a good supply of cash there, because there's always something really good you want to see. I don't really have a great deal more to add, really. So yeah, sorry, that's a bit of a rubbish answer. So yeah, sorry.
I would say that advice should be given that Chris Carter is a lovely man and deserves a free pint every now and again.
Yay! Yes, that's excellent advice, and I would heartily advise everyone to follow that.
I also recommend that everybody follows this next piece of advice, which is that Sam Palmer makes my shows far too long and needs to be kicked every time you walk by him.
Yeah. The funny thing is, though, you see me in person, I'm nothing like this. I'm quiet and sit there.
All we'll do is we'll put a headset on you and blindfold you.
There we go. It's the power of the microphone.
Just walk me around.
Yeah.
No, I think I seem to have come out of my shell a lot more recently, so that's why I'm a bit of a jerk. In the nicest possible way. I'm lovely, but
I've gone past this crippling social phobia, and now I just punch orphans in the face.
Well, I'm not a violent man. I will facilitate in the punching of orphans, but I won't take part myself.
You set up like orphan punching rings, and then just sit back going, "Nothing to do with me. My hands are clean."
Like,
it's more of a sideline.
If the orphan beats you, then they can eat. What the hell am I talking
Eat
about?
what you kill.
It's going down a very dark road.
Yeah, we have. Why would you bring that up, Adam? What have you done? What have you done to me?
I'm just getting everyone to know the real you. The orphan fighting ring creating Sam Palmer.
Oh God. No, I'm usually much more professional than this.
I would hope so.
Yes, I won't be like this at all assembly. Don't worry, people. If you're a bit scared of me, I have shaved my beard slightly, so I haven't got the big bushy outcrop I once had. So I look a little bit more civilized at least. So.
I'm actually trying to work this out. Do I leave the giant beard that I've currently got, or do I shave it down to make it a little bit more manageable and tidy? Not sure.
I've got a tidy goatee at the moment. It's got some decent length on it, but it's still been trimmed in a nice way. So I'm going to be rocking some nice facial hair, but not too intimidating. So it should be fine.
I think at some point
I had the
go.
Sorry, I had the full on. I had the speaking. I had the full on Grizzly Adams
Right now. Don't stop. No stuttering.
Carry on, Sam.
Oh God.
Carry on, Sam would be an awesome film.
with Kenneth Williams.
Yes, playing
me. I had the full on. Oh God, what was I saying? I had the full on Grizzly Adams for a time, but then I was going to keep it for the show. I didn't want to intimidate or be intimidated by Alex's immense beard of Wanda, so I trimmed it back. I didn't want to be the best beard in the room.
You may have a better beard, but unfortunately, his beard is attached to a Canadian bear, so you can't really.
Which is very true.
That's my favourite nickname for him now. He is the bear.
The Canadian bear.
A Canadian bear. Alex, the Canadian bear. Milne.
Although, just having a beard that, it wouldn't be anywhere near as luxurious and amazing as his, but just feeling, that I'm somehow on a par with him. But obviously, because I've shaved it now, I'm completely beneath him once again.
You are now Milne-less.
I am the. I can't think of a decent simile.
You are also simile-less, apparently.
I'm simile-less. You've broken my simile.
You've been unsimiled.
Calculating device. I've been unsimile. I've been unsimile like something with no similes. See, it's broken.
It's done in now.
I'm now lying here with my head on the table.
It's the best way.
I don't even know where we are.
This is why I don't get invited on podcasts very often.
I did wonder why Back to the 80s had gone quiet for a bit. Right, so there's only two more things to do now. I'm going to drag this back on track. Yeah. The first one is to say, people, I need an intro and an outro tune, and you've got to give me the first thing that pops into your head. Chris, Pick me a song.
Paramore, Still Into You.
Okay.
Don't know why that's there, but it is. It's in my brain at the moment.
I have no idea what that song is, so this will be interesting.
Yes, it really will. It really, really will. Don't judge me. That's all I ask. Please, just don't judge me. And you will judge me, but just don't judge me.
It's all right. I'm not Turnbull's little ratchet head.
Yeah. You literally said the first song that came into my head, and
Yep.
that was the first song. So
To be fair,
I fully acknowledge
it's not
there are
that bad
better
choice.
songs.
I don't
It's a
know.
nice, I like. It's a catchy tune.
It's the best song on Now 85.
Good. Oh, hang on. Please let me write this down. Now.
Hang on. Now 85.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be Now That's What I Call Music 85? So is that's just the best songs from 1985?
Or the 85th incarnation of the... yeah, it could be the best songs of 85.
That'd be awesome. Kylie Minogue doing the locomotion. Right, Sam, you've had too much time to think about this, unfortunately. Give me a song.
It's a song by a French hardcore band called Chunk No Captain Chunk, and the song's called Captain Blood, and it's about pirates.
Very Goonies.
Well done,
Yes.
sir.
It's a hardcore, like, screamy song about pirates. I mean, how much better does it get?
Abney Park's Airship Pirates, which is a song about pirates in the sky.
The theme for Pirates of Penzance.
I'm trying to think. There's a 3 Inches of Blood. Captain Morgan's Revenge. That's the one. It's an entire concept album about being a dead pirate.
But it's not by French teenagers.
No, it's not. It's by a bunch of drunk Scottish guys called Ailstorm.
Oh, I know of Hailstorm.
Love Ailstorm.
They're like Hailstorm, but haven't got a female vocalist.
They're like Hailstorm, but aren't Nicole.
Oh, well, I'm Nicole. But there is a metal band called Hailstorm.
Yes.
That has it's one of these cliched, generic metal bands with a female vocalist where she looks like a supermodel and not like a metal fan at all.
Yeah. No, there's too many of them. But that's an entirely different conversation. I've got a terror that
Yes.
we're going to end up going down a path we don't need to go down.
Yeah.
This is long enough. So,
Yeah.
the final thing I have to ask you is pimpage. Mr. Carter, sir,
Oh,
what would you like to pimp out other than Sam on the street corners
Yeah.
getting some Benjamins?
he does a good enough job of that himself. That's fine. I'll be selling 3 new prints at the convention. One of them is a Target 2006 inspired print with Galvatron beating up Ultra Magnus in truck mode. So that's going to be quite cool. I've got another one then called Megatron's Big Day Out, which is going to be Megatron fighting Omega Supreme, Metroplex, and Fortress Maximus. So that's quite a good one.
Wow.
I hope. And another one then is more of a Transformers the movie inspired one with Megatron beating down Prime. So yeah, that's going to be quite cool as well. I'm also going to be giving away free bookmarks to anybody who comes along.
Hey!
The bookmarks are it's an image of the squashed Pipes character from More Than Meets the Eye.
Oh.
So that should be quite good, hopefully.
Wow.
It seems appropriate, you know.
So when you open up the book...
Yeah. And then I think the only other thing I'll have then, I'll be doing sketches, obviously, so just come and see me for those. And I'll also be selling my loose Cannon comic up there as well. So if you fancy grabbing a copy of that kind of comedic shenanigans, by all means, walk on by, say hi, grab a book. Yeah, so yeah, that's me.
At the risk of sounding like I'm blowing smoke up people's asses here, I do recommend Loose Cannon.
It is Eagle Award nominated.
Yep.
Yay.
Thoroughly enjoyed every issue I've read so far.
Yay, that's good.
I actually need to pick them up this year. So everything I've seen is brilliant. So I actually need to read the book.
You
So I'll do that.
I highly recommend it.
Well, of course.
I got the first
Yeah, I
issue
am.
off you last year's AA.
Yeah.
And I remember getting stuck coughing while sitting on the toilet having a read.
It is good reading material for that particular room, so that's quite good.
Sam,
Hello.
what would Sir like to print? What would Sir like to print?
To print.
Oh God, it's getting late. What would Sir like to pimp?
Not a great deal, really. I'm not really. Because I'm not guesting this year, so I'm not going to be having a great deal sale wise. I mean, I may bring a few. Yeah, That's true. Well, I may bring a few prints along with me in case anyone wants anything I had last year with me. I've already had a couple of people wanting sketches off me, so I might be doing 2, I think, which is going to be a bit weird, but that's fine. I think other than that, if you kind of like my pointless rambling, which I'm not sure why you would, I am a co-host on the Back to the 80s podcast, which goes out on Fridays, which you can find online. Just Google Back to the 80s, and we're on Facebook and all that good stuff.
Be warned, though, there are 2 separate things leading to Back to the 80s if you Google it.
Really? Well, Back to the 80s spelt out, not the number. Yep. There you go. That's the right one. Let me think. What else? If you decided I sound professional enough on this podcast and want to give me work, you can go on my website, which is sam-palmer.co.uk, and my email address and everything's on there, so you can email me. I've got a whole bunch of galleries of my work and stuff on there as well. And if you want to talk to me and complain about how I've ruined your evening with this immensely long podcast, then you can find me on Twitter at sam_palmer_37.
Thank you very much. Well, with that, then, we are going to call this up for the night and say goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Thank you very much, Sam and Chris, for coming on tonight.
No problem.
It has been a pleasure in some really strange and out-the-way version.
I'd like to apologise to any listeners now for my derailment.
I like the idea you think that A, important people listen to anything I put out, B, they're going to give you work after this.
Don't say that, I've ruined my career.
We've set you back about 10 years now, I'm so sorry.
Genuinely scared now, what have you done?
It's when you get people from Ann Summers now phoning you up. Well...
We'd like you to colour in this set of negligees. I'm quite interested, actually.
Damn it, I'm giving you a really good job now. God. Right, well, with that then, we shall call it a night. So, Thank you, everybody, and thank you for listening. Take care now.
Bye.